Welcome back everyone, I'm Mindy and today's video is featuring the Simon Says Stamp STAMPtember collaboration with Altenew. This is a limited edition exclusive stamp set only found over at simonsaysstamp.com. Outline floral images are great for coloring, but they're also great for background techniques. Here's a look at the exclusive Beautiful Lily stamp set. You can see we have this gorgeous outline flower set and some wonderful sentiments as well. For my background, I am going to be using Distress inks today, and I have the colors Picked Raspberry, Mustard Seed, and Salty Ocean. I picked these colors, one, because of their vibrancy, and two, because of how they work together when they are wet and smooshed together, which is what we're doing. We are doing an ink smooshing background. So I'm working on this slick surface, just kind of smooshing the ink pad down onto that mat. And then I'm going to spritz this with some water using my mister bottle. I also have a piece of watercolor paper here from Tim Holtz, and I'm spraying that lightly as well, and I am going to smoosh this onto my surface using the smooth side of the cardstock. So I placed that down into that mixture and just kind of pressed my fingers over the background, wiggled it a little bit, slid it, and then I'm going to pick this up and I'm quickly going to get rid of that ink down at the bottom of the card because it started to turn into a color I really didn't like. So I dabbed that up with my paper towel. I'm going to dry this quick with my heat tool, and then I'm going to add some more water down to that blue in the bottom and smoosh my cardstock back in there. Now, if I wanted more of a textured look, I would more dab my paper into that, but I wanted it to have kind of more of a smooth background. Now, I love that color down at the bottom, but there were some that I didn't care for and I wanted to stop the drips, so I'll just dab that up again with the paper towel. You can let this air dry or you can speed up that drying process with your heat tool. I do have some rough edges there that I didn't really care for, but I'll show you a trick to cover those up. First, I'm going to stamp my image. So I have these beautiful lilies placed in my Misty and I'm inking them up with the VersaFine ink. It's a nice black ink. You always get crisp results, but because I am stamping on watercolor paper, even though it is the smooth side, I am going to stamp it twice to make sure it really pops off of the background. Now here's a fun trick in case you do get edges that you don't really care for and you don't want to trim the panel down, and that is creating a frame. So I did that with the Hero Arts Rectangle Infinity die, and then I'm going to line that with the Simon Says Stamp foam tape. I'm just going to place it all around the window. Now this could also work as a shaker card if you wanted to add some acetate and some sequins mix to this, but I just wanted to create the frame. Here's another great tip. Normally when I take the backing off of my foam tape or foam squares, it curls the paper a little bit, so I'm holding the corners down with some low-tack tape or post-it tape. Then I removed the backing of the foam tape, and that helps keep everything flat, and then I can attach my ink smushed background to that. I went ahead and heat embossed a sentiment from that Beautiful Lily stamp set, and I heat embossed it on black cardstock with white embossing powder, and then I layered it with some black cardstock strips instead of foam squares. That way I can customize the height of this. I added more tape behind that, and then I can add this to the front of the card, and I love that black and how it pops off of that colorful background. My finishing touch is going to be taking these Iridescent Drops from Pink Fresh Studio, and I'm going to add them around my sentiment. I usually start by just placing them out where I want them to go, and then once I'm happy with the arrangement, I'll come in with my Connect glue and my jewel picker and attach those. Ink smooshing is such a great classic technique that you can use with so many stamped images. I hope you enjoyed today's card inspiration. I will have all of the supplies listed down below in the video description and over on my blog as well. This stamp set is limited, so if you do enjoy it, please be sure to head over to the Simon Says Stamp website and grab that before it sells out. Thank you so much for spending time with me today.